Ugly, functional, iconic. These are the three words that best describe Crocs, the infamous foam clogs that have divided opinions for decades. They've been labeled as the ultimate ugly shoe, mocked on the internet, and seen by many as a fashion disaster. But while some people refuse to be caught dead in them, others have made them a daily staple, including celebrities like Justin Bieber, Post Malone, and even Ariana Grande. But Crocs didn't become a global sensation overnight. Their rise was anything but smooth. Marked by controversy, massive financial ups and downs, and accusations of stolen ideas. What started as an odd-looking shoe for boaters became a billion-dollar business that redefined comfort and fashion. Today, we're unraveling the untold story behind Crocs. How did this ugly shoe survive mockery and near bankruptcy? The story of Crocs begins not in a corporate office or a shoe factory, but on the deck of a sailboat in the Caribbean. It was 2002, and Lyndon Hanson's life had taken a dramatic downturn. He was unemployed, recently separated from his wife, and mourning the loss of his mother. To help him clear his head, his longtime friends George Bodecker and Scott Siemens invited him on a sailing trip. What started as an escape from personal troubles quickly turned into a voyage that would change their lives. Scott Siemens had brought along an odd pair of shoes, clogs to be exact. A company called Foam Creations was producing them. They were made from crosslite, a revolutionary foam resin that was odor-resistant, slip-proof, lightweight and waterproof. The shoes were hideous. They looked clunky and impractical. But after a few days of wearing them on the boat, something clicked. Despite their ugly appearance, the shoes were incredibly comfortable. They conformed to the wearer's feet, provided excellent grip on the slippery deck, and were breathable enough to wear all day. Lyndon and George were sold. The three friends decided to go into business together, buying the rights to the crosslite technology and developing a new version of the clogs. Their company needed a name that reflected the shoe's versatility, both on land and at sea. And so, Crocs was born, named after the amphibious crocodile, a creature equally at home in water as it is on land. But none of them had any experience in the shoe industry. Lyndon had worked in hardware marketing, George had a background in the fast food business, and Scott was an inventor. Yet, they believed that with hard work, determination, and a bit of luck, they could turn their ugly clogs into a business success. The trio decided to introduce Crocs at the 2002 Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Their sales pitch was simple. We know they're ugly, but just try them on. Boaters and sailors loved the shoes once they slipped them on. The comfort and practicality of Crocs won people over. The company had sold over 200 pairs, a significant victory for a startup with an unproven product. But something else happened at that boat show. It wasn't just boaters who were interested in Crocs. People from other professions, chefs, restaurant workers, nurses, and anyone who spent long hours on their feet, started taking notice. The founders realized they had stumbled upon a much larger market than they originally envisioned. The Crocs founders were ready to take the company to the next level. They set up headquarters in Boulder, Colorado, and began developing a business model that would allow them to scale quickly. A key turning point came in 2006 when Crocs went public. The company's initial public offering, IPO, raised a staggering $239 million, making it the largest footwear IPO in US history at the time. For a company selling a shoe, this was an enormous validation of their business model. Their growth strategy was also unusual for the footwear industry. The company allowed stores to stock as few as 24 pairs and restock only when necessary. Soon, the shoes were everywhere, from mall kiosks to major department stores. By 2007, Crocs had become a cultural phenomenon. The Crocs team expanded its product line, adding new colors and variations to appeal to a broader audience. But their rapid expansion came with a downside. Fashion insiders dismissed Crocs as a fad, and many predicted that their success wouldn't last. In 2007, the company's stock price hit an all-time high of $69 per share. By 2008, the company had overextended itself, launching more than 5,000 different product variations and expanding into too many markets. Then came the global financial crisis of 2008. The company lost $185 million that year, and their stock dropped to just over $1 per share. Many in the industry wrote Crocs off as a passing fad that had finally run its course. Another controversy was brewing, one that threatened to undermine the very foundation of their success. Accusations surfaced that the company had stolen the idea for its iconic shoes. In 2008, a company called Select LLC filed a lawsuit, claiming that Crocs had violated a patent for a foam material nearly identical to Croslite. Rumors began to circulate that Crocs had been inspired by a type of Italian clog that had existed long before Crocs hit the market. While Crocs had purchased the rights to Croslite from Foam Creations, the Canadian company that originally developed the foam technology, now their entire brand story was being called into question. Crocs had to make some tough decisions if they were going to survive. The company drastically cut back on its product lines, slashing its offerings by more than 80%. They focused on their core product, the original clog that had made them famous in the first place. They had to go back to basics if they were going to survive the storm. By 2014, Crocs was beginning to see signs of life again. The company's decision to focus on its core clog design, along with smart cost-cutting measures, allowed them to stabilize their finances. Fast forward to 2017, the rise of ugly fashion was a deliberate rejection of traditional beauty standards, and Crocs found themselves at the heart of this new trend. While Crocs had always been mocked for their appearance, the ugly fashion movement embraced the unconventional and the bizarre, and Crocs fit right in. The company capitalized on this moment by launching a series of high-profile collaborations with celebrities, designers, and even food brands. Some of the most notable partnerships included Malone, Justin Bieber, Balenciaga, and even KFC. The Balenciaga collaboration, in particular, made waves, as the luxury brand introduced an $850 platform Croc that sold out within hours. Yes, you heard that right, an $850 Croc. These limited edition collaborations turned Crocs into a collector's item. Crocs tapped into the personalization trend with gibbets, small decorative charms that consumers could attach to their Crocs. This allowed fans to customize their shoes, making each pair unique and personal. Gen Z in particular flocked to the brand. Then came 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic. With millions of people suddenly working from home, the demand for comfortable, easy-to-wear footwear skyrocketed. The pandemic proved to be a huge win for Crocs. In 2021, the company reported record-breaking revenues of $2.3 billion, up more than 60% from the previous year. Their stock price surged, and the brand solidified its place as a staple of modern comfort wear. Crocs had gone from being on the brink of collapse to becoming one of the biggest footwear success stories of the decade. They've cemented themselves as a brand that stands for comfort, individuality, and non-conformity. But fashion is fickle, and trends come and go. While Crocs are riding high now, the question remains, can they maintain their momentum in a post-pandemic world? From a controversial origin story to a global success, Crocs has defied the odds in every way possible. Ugly, functional, and undeniably iconic, Crocs is a testament to the power of perseverance and the willingness to embrace what makes you different. So, what do you think? Are Crocs here for the long haul, or will they eventually fade away? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the most fascinating stories like these.